Ladies and gentlemen, put on a third pair of socks, chase the lice out of your sleeping mat, and see if you've got enough pennies to get drunk off of.
Because it's time to talk Tull to me.
It's time to talk Tull to me. I'm Omen Sade.
And I am Nick McGill.
And this is Talk Tull to Me, a meander through the neighborhoods and docklands that is the collected work of prog rock band Jethro Tull.
One shuffling, shambling footstep at a time, we trudge our way through the discography, looking for sandwiches and songs in the garbage can.
But we are not alone, because you are there to keep us warm under the railroad bridge.
Sleeping naked under cardboard boxes together.
That's right.
Like one big puppy pile.
So, Nick, this is a momentous moment. A momentous moment.
It is. It is.
A momentous moment.
It is a monumental moment.
First of all, I want to announce that due to a very awesome collaboration, I have, you can probably hear, a new recording box, so I don't have to be under a towel anymore.
That's right. Very exciting. No more towel recording.
No more towel recording. Except for fun, maybe.
For funsies.
For funsies. So that's fun. Also, we have come back from our Tullcation. We hope that you, our listeners, are all well-rested, tanned, relaxed, and we are jumping into a new album.
New album, first song. But wait, I have an email.
Dun, 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 it's the email dance. I know I already recorded this.
We got a sting. I'll put it in here.
Okay, great.
Your emails, sir.
That's great, Nick.
Yeah. This is from Jason K. And it's really apt right now. Based on the content of his email, tied in with what we are about to get into.
It was timely on his behalf.
He sent it a little while ago, but
what is time?
It's convenient that we are starting it now. The subject is Talk Tull to Me is not so bad.
Oh, hey. I've heard worse.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
All right. The body of the message. Like what you boys be doing. Tull fan forever. It really started with a friend in high school telling me that any statement could have the beautiful cadence of an Aqualung line. Sitting on a park bench is the same in the car full of cassette listeners as stopping at a red light. Stopping at a red light.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That sounds exactly like what a high school conversation that I'm shocked that we didn't have. Favorite album right now? Walk Into Light, lol. Walk Into Light was Ian Anderson's first solo album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I have actually never heard that.
I'm not sure if he's being facetious with the lol, but...
Are you saying lol? LOL?
LOL.
Yeah, cool.
Lol. Not
lol.
Not lol.
Lol.
It's not LOWELL.
Lowl.
Laugh Out Loud. Favorite album right now? Walk Into Light, Laugh Out Loud.
Great.
And he closes with Cheerio, and that's it.
Oh.
Just a quick little drop-in. Thank you so much.
Short and sweet.
For your...
What was his name?
Just the little... Jason K.
Jason Cave.
K. Just the letter K.
Yep.
Thanks, Jason. Just a quick little line. Tell us how you got into Tull. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
Keep them coming, guys. Much appreciated. Thanks so much.
And by guys, we mean
Folks.
lads, ladies, everyone in between.
Collective. peoples.
Peoples of the Earth. And anyone on the International Space Station right now.
Anyone else from anywhere where you want to email from, totally down for it. Absolutely.
We're down for it.
Yep.
That's great, Nick. Do we have any other housekeeping business?
That was it for that. I just had that email, and we're good to go.
Okay, fantastic. Because I am positively chomping at the bit right now.
You done?
For the moment, yes.
For now. Yeah, we're going to start talking about Aqualung.
Tull. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Aqualung.
Aqualung, yeah. Or Tull, yes, but Aqualung.
The album.
The album.
Wow.
Who is our lineup? We have a little bit of a changeroo here.
We do. So we do have the usual suspects. We have Mr. Ian Anderson on the flute and on the songwriting and on the singing, a little acoustic guitar.
Yep.
We have the Prince of My Heart, Martin Lancelot Barr on the electric guitar.
Yep.
Now, here's where it gets interesting.
Uh-huh.
We do still have Clive Bunker, although I am sad to say this is Clive Bunker's last album with Jethro Tull.
That's right.
So, weep, 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 weep.
Get as much of that bunker bash in now as you can.
Yeah, bash it. We have the official edition of, Nick,
John Evan.
from the John Evan Band, from the Blades.
From the Blades and others. No longer just credited as a studio musician. He is an official member now with the piano, the organ, and, of course, the mellotron.
Mellotron. Mellotron can only rock.
I am here to audition for Jethro Tull.
Stop drilling, Mellotron. You've hit oil. And now here's where things get interesting.
Yeah.
Glenn Cornick, we bid you adieu.
Thanks, Glenn. It was a great time rocking out with you.
Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for your infectious onstage energy, your incredible bass riffs. Enter the scene. What did we say? You say his name 3 times and he will appear?
That's right. You sing about him 3 times.
That's right. It's very specific. Welcome, Jeffrey Hammond to Jethro Tull.
That's right. New bassist. A couple of backing vocals on Mother Goose. And he is in for the kind of the long haul, I think. I think he's in here for a little bit. A
longish haul.
Yeah.
And now, Nick, when you say new bassist, you of course mean new old bassist, because Jeffrey Hammond was a part of the Blades, part of John Evan Band, part of John Evan Smash.
Yeah, he was a part of
Evan Smash.
Easy, John. We don't want you to get angry.
John Evan.
He was a part of that kind of that primordial ooze that was proto Tull.
Yeah, he was. He was the Blackpool musician sludge. He was dredged up.
He just climbed out of that pool a little bit later than the others.
He sure did.
Yeah.
He's a late ooze climber.
A late evolver.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last thing I want to know is we got some great and beautiful, some really gorgeous orchestral arrangement and conducting by Dee Palmer.
Amazing.
This is one of the first ones that I think Dee Palmer is really credited with.
That's great.
They may have dabbled a little bit earlier on, but I think this is one of the first big ones. Probably because this is the first time that they could afford actual strings.
Absolutely, yeah. So, Nick.
Yeah.
How did Jeffrey Hammond finally join the Jethro Tull Band? I'm glad you asked. What had happened was, after some years of departure from the land of music, Jeffrey had been to art school, and he had then applied to another art school, I think the Royal Academy of Arts or something, fine arts, like something like this. And tragically for his arts career, but fortunately for us, he did not get in. Sad tear.
I know he went, after he left Tull, he went back into art.
Yeah. Well, you can take the paintbrush out of the pot, but you can't ever wash the bristles clean, as they say.
They do say that often.
They say it a lot.
Yeah.
So his old friend Ian Anderson took pity on him because he had no career options. He was living in London but couldn't afford it because his grant had run out from his previous schooling, and he wasn't into the new program. And so Ian said, "Jeffrey, why don't I pay you to redecorate my apartment while I'm on tour?"
Really?
He did that. And then when Ian came back, it was around the time of Jeffrey Hammond's birthday. And guess what Ian Anderson gave Jeffrey Hammond for his birthday?
A job?
A bass guitar. And said, relearn how to play this and join the band.
Wow.
And Jeffrey Hammond was like, well, I got no future. I got no job. I've got this bass. I may as well join one of the greatest rock bands in the history of rock and roll.
So I'm curious to know how long they knew Glenn was leaving. Like, were they desperate to find a replacement, or like, what's the time period on that?
My impression of they were touring the benefit album in America. Glenn Cornick decided to leave. I'm not clear on the details around that departure.
Uh-huh.
So they came back to Britain, I think, at the end of their tour with a little bit of time before they started recording the next album, which was Aqualung, and needed to find a bass player in that space of time. And Ian convinced Jeffrey Hammond to be that bass player. And then they went straight into recording.
Yeah.
And this is where I think some of those rehearsals may have come into play, because I think Glenn Cornick was like literally teaching Jeffrey how to play the bass.
Oh my God.
And Jeffrey Hammond has said, because he played the bass before in the Blades and such, but it had been years. And he stated at various points that he didn't really know how to play the instrument. They would just sort of be like, okay, put your fingers here, 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 and here, and then go strum, strum, strum. And he was very good at parroting.
Yeah, he was good at playing Jethro Tull songs.
After he'd been shown how.
Yeah.
So he went from art student to interior decorator to immediately recording Aqualung.
That's like the most epic thing that could happen to you.
Yeah, I keep waiting.
You got
Ian Anderson.
You got to learn the bass.
My birthday's coming up. I'm holding out hope.
That's it. I guess that's it. I guess that's you got to wait for the birthday bass.
The birthday bass
from Ian Anderson.
From old Uncle Ian.
Uncle Ian sent you another bass. Aw.
Where am I going to put it?
Got one last year.
It's like the sweaters.
Yeah, put it in your sock drawer.
So, Nick.
Yeah.
Now that we know some of the ingredients in the fourth album soup, shall we have a little sip?
Let's see what's right on top. Nope, get rid of the fly. There it is. It is.
It's the first song on the album. It's Aqualung.
So maybe we should listen to it now.
Let's have a listen.
Sitting on the park bench, eyeing little girls with bad intent.
Woo! Wow.
Running down his nose.
Nick, I'm gonna have a quick cigarette.
Yeah, I need a shower and a sandwich.
Yeah, that's intense. That's an intense. I mean, like, it's almost a cliche to say that a lot of that everyone's first introduction to Jethro Tull is the song Aqualung.
Yeah.
But it was mine.
Right. I imagine for most it is.
Yeah. But wow. I mean, it hooks you.
It's not my favorite Jethro Tull song.
Sure.
But it's really good. It's really good. It's really hefty. It's really hard compared to a lot of their stuff.
hard sounding, you mean?
like
hard
heavy,
rock.
like hard. Yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
But then you have that moment of acoustic in it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which allows you to breathe. And you need that, I think, in the song, because it is so hard that you need a little bit of contrast.
Well, I think that's also a great setup for the rest of the album, because there are a lot
Absolutely.
of. I just listened to it just today, the whole album, and I forgot how many like little gorgeous little acoustic snippets there are
Yeah.
dotted in between some of these
Yeah.
heavier pieces.
Yeah, totally. The whole album is peppered with them. And I think that's part of the thing that makes it such a listenable album, is because it really takes care of the listener.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's taken us 4 albums, but we finally got it.
Yeah.
So this song is, I think, maybe one of the first collaborations with Jenny Franks?
I think it is
Or
the only collaboration with Jenny Franks, and
is it? Okay.
songwriting-wise, and I believe it is the only collaboration in the entire history of Jethro Tull.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Would you like to hear about the origin of this song, Nick, from the horse's mouth?
Is this the September 1999 Guitar World interview?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's taken from the book A Passion Play, The Story of Ian Anderson and Jethro Tull, which I highly recommend that all of you Tull heads out there go and get a copy of. Obviously, the Ballad of Jethro Tull is coming out quite soon, which is the official Tull published Tull biography. But this is a very, very well researched book with a lot of interviews with the band members, and it's really great. Nick?
Carry on.
Oh. Thought maybe you'd gone away for a minute. So would you like to hear what Ian Anderson has to say about this song?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Nick, I am a master of accents, but I might need some help with my Ian Anderson accent. So at any point that you want to stop me and give me some pointers, go ahead.
You got it.
The title track has always been jointly credited to Jenny Anderson, my first wife, and myself. We were only married for about a year. We got divorced a couple of years later. Not unhappily. It's just that we were both kind of young. She was Jewish, and I wasn't.
Ooh.
Sidebar, I'm not really sure what that has to do with it, but who knows. In fact, she had been taking photographs because she was in some sort of college, and at that time...
Some sort of college.
And at that time was very much into tramps, very much into dirty old men. Which explains why we came to meet, because that's the sort of image I had. Well, her mother certainly made her aware of that fact, if I didn't before. She had taken some photographs of this particular guy who was a very striking figure. He had a defiance and nobility about him. Anyway, Jenny had scribbled down some lines about this guy. I said, "Hey, let's make this into a song." We talked about the guy, and she came up with a few lines. I tried to show her how that could become a song. We wrote the lyrics to the first couple of verses, and so she contributed to the lyrics of Aqualung. It's a good song, and it's probably the only time that I have ever written anything with anybody else lyrically.
Wow.
Ian Anderson. Hard to unpack.
Yeah. I'll tack on from the 1999 Guitar World interview.
Hey, wait a minute, Nick.
Yeah.
How is my accent?
It was actually pretty good.
Oh, I was not. Is that genuine?
It's yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's that like clipped, pronounced, haughty
Yeah. I'm
Ian Anderson that we all know and love.
maybe by like I really will have gotten it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll get you there.
Okay, great. Whew. So now that we have that covered, what's the interview 19 what?
1999 Guitar World magazine September issue.
Okay. Oh,
idea
that was a good September.
Where was I in 1999? Let's see. We were 14. Oh, we were 14. Oh no, we hadn't met.
It was just before we met. Ooh, it was
We hadn't met
It was
yet.
a bad time.
life was awful.
Yeah.
It was empty. The idea came about from a photograph my wife at the time took of a tramp in London. I had feelings of guilt about the homeless, as well as fear and insecurity with people like that who seem a little scary. And I suppose all of that was combined with a slightly romanticized picture of the person who is homeless but yet a free spirit, who either won't or can't join in society's prescribed formats.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then a
Look
little
out,
bit
Ian.
further...
Your philosophy is showing.
And then just a reference to the music itself. It's quite a tortured tangle of chords, but it was meant to really drag you here and there and then set you down into the more gentle acoustic section of the song. And I think that's pretty accurate.
It does that.
Yeah.
It does it.
Is this the song where Martin was playing the solo,
Yes.
was recording the solo,
Uh-huh.
and who Jimmy Page walked in?
Yeah, so this was recorded at Island Records, and Led Zeppelin was recording in the downstairs studio. So Island Records was apparently a new studio. Both bands were there. They had been touring a lot together, and so they knew each other. And actually, Nick, would you like to hear the story of that incident from the pony's mouth?
The Knight's Mouth, yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear the story?
Yes.
Who's a good podcaster? Oh, my book's upside down. Hold on a second. I don't have much space to navigate in the booth. All right, so now bear with me as I find my my Martin Barr accent. Led Zeppelin were recording downstairs at Island Studios while I was doing the solo. It might have been the second take, and it was going really well. Jimmy Page walked into the control room and started waving wildly, and I thought, should I wave back and mess up the solo and have to do another one? Or should I just grin and carry on? So, being a professional to the end, I grinned, and that was the solo that is on the album. It's true!
One of the most well-known guitar solos. It was like ranked in the top 100 guitar solos or something. I don't have the number in front of me, but like it is a very well-respected guitar solo.
Nick, do you
and
think...
Jimmy Page almost ruined it.
Well, he knew. He was like, oh, I gotta...
You're doing it.
You're
doing it!
I want my guitar solos to be up there. Do you think it was sabotage on Jimmy Page's part?
Oh.
Okay, real question, though. Do you think part of the reason that solo is so good, because it is really good,
It's chunky. It's good.
is because Martin Barr was like, oh, Jimmy Page is watching me, arguably one of the best guitar players on the scene. I have to bring it.
Yeah, I cannot mess this up. I just want to know what was going through his head. Come on, Martin. Come on, you got this.
You can do this, Lancelot. Pull the sword out of the stone. That's King Arthur. Find the Holy Grail. That's Galahad. Confront the Green Knight.
That was Gawain.
That's Gawain. Tune back to our other podcast, Argue Arthurian Knights to me. 1001 Arthurian Knights.
Also heavily featuring Martin Barr, believe it or not.
Yeah, he's a crossover artist.
Yep.
So, Nick,
Yeah.
we've talked a lot about facts. We've heard a lot from the official records. We've heard a lot of anecdotes. But what does this song do to your soul? In what neighborhood of your soul does this song live?
It doesn't make me comfortable, either musically or lyrically.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be that way.
You think it's supposed to make you feel comfortable?
Uncomfortable.
Oh, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
you.
I think working as intended.
I started to drown in a sea of double negatives there for a second.
I am not unsorry. I it's a very potent song.
Yeah.
Even after hearing it countless times, literal countless times, even with it being played and really one of the few Tull songs that are really acknowledged, there's still some power behind it.
Yeah, there is. You know, it's funny knowing the origin of this song in terms of Jenny taking a photograph of a homeless guy and the song being based off of that. I feel like that doesn't add anything to my understanding of it, because it's like the song is so clear that that's what it's about.
Yeah, there's no, this is not one of those cryptic, we have to figure out what this song is about songs.
No, it's a hearty, oven-warmed, juicy slice of life, and it is not sweet. It's like a nettle pie.
It does fall in the narrator category, where the narrator is telling us the story, as opposed to, it is not an omniscient narrator, it is an actual person in this story.
Right. I feel like it's not a story in the same way that some of the other songs are stories.
Sure, right.
It's more of an observer.
Yeah, but the narrator / singer is the observer.
Totally, yes.
I'm trying to say this song is given to us secondhand, essentially, because we're being told it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I think so. It's sort of like, but I think that the reason both of us are stuttering as if we've never spoken the English language before is because I think this is actually a new kind of songwriter relationship to the audience than we have seen before with Tull.
Possibly.
I think there's something a little bit unique about this, in that he's not really saying, this is how my life is, and he's not saying, this is the life of this character. He's saying, I see this. I see this.
Okay.
I am bearing witness to this life.
Yep.
And what a strange and noble and awful life it is. It's sort of completely, and it's totally, there's no judgment there either. It's not like saying, oh, this guy is homeless and isn't he a bad person because he does this and this.
Yeah. It's statement of fact.
Yeah, it's like direct experience, and I think that's why it hits so hard, is because it's like you totally see through his eyes, and you see this guy, you see Aqualung.
Yeah. Yeah, the character, the homeless man, is named Aqualung.
Right. Which, the definition of an aqualung, Nick, of course, is a breathing apparatus.
It's pre-scuba, essentially, right?
It's just pre-scuba, I think. Oh, I think it was named by that French guy.
Oh, the French guy?
Yep.
Jacques Cousteau.
That's the one.
That's the one?
That's the only French guy.
The only French guy, yep.
One French guy.
One French fry.
Dipped in my sauce. So, yeah. So why is he called Aqualung?
Only one French guy.
Dipping in my fry sauce. Why is the character's name Aqualung, Nick?
The sound that he makes when he breathes with his pneumonic lungs, I'm assuming. Yeah.
That one?
Similar.
Yeah.
Similar. Yeah. I'm guessing, right?
I think you're on it.
And you don't ever know the homeless person's name or the stranger's name, but
Correct.
you name them something based on a quality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, it's the tall guy. It's hey, it's glasses. Hey, it's Aqualung.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
No, totally.
It's
I think you're right. He effectively society has put him in a place where he doesn't have a name, even though
he is nameless. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Do we want to unpack some of the Britishisms that are found within this song?
Just really quick, the character on the front. We'll get into the art later in the weeks
Yes.
because there's a story behind the artwork of this album. But the character on the front is not Ian Anderson's homeless man character. It is supposed to be Aqualung.
Right.
And on the inside of the album art is more art by this artist, and that is where the Talk Tull to Me picture comes from. The little podcast cover comes from. It's from the inside of the Aqualung album.
The podcast cover comes from. So,
Yeah, Britishisms.
leg hurting bad as he bends to pick a dog end.
Are you asking me, or are you setting me up?
At this point, the line between those things is so slim.
The answer is yes.
Do you know what a dog end is?
I do. It's an old discarded cigarette.
Ah,
But-
there you are. Okay, now you ask. Now you ask me one.
Is the bog anything but an actual bog?
It is not an actual bog. because-
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that bathroom?
Yep. Bog means toilet,
Okay. Goes down to a bog and warms his feet.
right? I imagine like when you go to. I imagine it's the sort of situation when you visit a McDonald's, for instance, in downtown Manhattan, and you go to the bathroom there. You might find someone warming their feet.
Yeah, right. Because it's 20 degrees out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, though, the term bog is used to describe something which is devoid of frills. Something
okay.
very standard or basic. Apparently, there's a term bog standard is a term.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
used.
I've heard that before.
So I do think in this case it is referring to a public toilet.
Sure. Right. That would make more sense.
Nick,
Yeah.
the army's up the road.
Yeah. That one I don't know.
Oh, shall I tell you?
Yeah, please.
Now I'm going to tell you this in the form of an image. You're walking.
Oh, I see it.
You're walking.
Oh.
You're walking down the streets. It's coming up on Christmas. There's snow in the air. You hear ding ding, ding ding, ding ding, ding ding. You see a red cauldron supported by a tripod. Ding ding, ding ding, ding ding.
Ah.
What are you seeing? What are you seeing?
The Salvation Army. Oh, so he could go up there to get charity.
To get a cup of
He
tea.
could go up the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
But
Okay.
but it's interesting because that it says Salvation a la mode and a cup of tea. Because I think that what they generally did was give you a cup of tea and talk Jesus at you.
Yeah. Yeah, they're God's army.
They are God's army.
Yeah, they have like actual ranks, army ranks for their people.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, apparently they're a little.
Mm-hmm. I donate my old stuff to Goodwill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I also do.
Yeah. I wish I had old stuff to donate.
I wish I had Goodwill.
Anything else? Any other Britishisms?
No, the army was the last one that really stuck out to me. I wouldn't even call that a Britishism, though,
No.
because we have that here. Dead duck, not really a Britishism.
Right.
Shabby means old.
Oh, thank you for that.
Spitting out pieces of his broken luck?
When I first listened to it, I used to think that it was spitting out pieces of his broken lung
I think I might have too, yeah.
because he's Aqualung.
I think that's just that his down in the dumps, like terrible luck, is physically manifested by his poor dental hygiene.
Oh wow.
That's the image that I've had for a while, like him like actually just pulling out teeth.
Wow, that's so horrific, Nick.
Visceral.
Yeah. I interpreted it more to to mean the way that some homeless people speak to themselves. I ride the MTA.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a lot of time to observe homeless people who may or may not also have mental health issues,
Right.
because those things go so frequently hand in hand. But there is sort of a quality of movement and speaking to oneself that I've seen a lot, where people kind of angrily spit out these words and
Yeah.
in a way that's blaming the things that have brought them to their current predicament.
Yeah, right.
Which, like,
Right. Whether manufactured or real, there is some cause in their minds. There is some link to what got them there.
well, and there are real causes as well.
Well, yeah. But depending on what they're seeing, what they're blaming it on.
Who said one time each of us is only 6 bad decisions away from pooping in a gutter?
I've never heard that before.
First time I heard that, I was like, 6? Please.
Yeah, 6 seems like a lot, to be honest.
What kind of charmed life do you lead?
6 degrees of pooping in a gutter, I think is.
Oh, I love that book.
Yeah.
That's the new that was made into a new Jennifer Aniston movie.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Really good, I think.
She plays the gutter.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, is that too much?
That took a turn.
Ooh. And that was decision number 1.
There it is. Musically, Omen, how do you feel about this?
Ooh, Lord. This, I'm so glad that we talked about this lineup, because I really feel like everyone is identifiable. Although, wait, I'm having a moment. Is there no flute in this song?
I was just going to ask you the same thing.
I don't think there's any
They
flute.
opened one of their biggest albums after Benefit, which sold over 1 million copies.
Which is flute heavy.
They opened it with no flute.
And then they continue it with no flute on Locomotive Breath. Well, that's not the next track, but
Well, no, Cross-Eyed Mary's next, and that has flute.
that has flute.
It has a decent chunk of flute.
A decent chunk of flute. Now available in candy size.
That's the portion that I like of my flute, is a decent chunk.
Yeah. But obviously Ian's presence is very strong. Martin Barr.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Yep.
And you know who I really think brings this song together? Is John Evan.
Huh. Okay.
The piano is really present throughout and really helps to tie everything together.
Yeah. It's a nice through line. It's like a protective webbing along the outside, keeping everyone in.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what a trucker puts over the back of their load.
Yeah. We don't want this precious cargo to fall off.
Right. Oh, we lost Jeffrey Hammond on Highway 60. So as I was starting to listen to it, I wasn't hearing a lot of Jeffrey Hammond. And for the first couple of minutes of the song, I thought, oh, he's sort of hiding in the back because he still doesn't know how to play his bass. But then we get to Martin's guitar solo where he's showing off for Jimmy Page, and you hear that incredible bass where he busts out with this sort of like
Yeah.
And it's this glorious syncopated walking bass that just comes out of nowhere, and then he disappears.
That's it. That's the last anyone ever heard of Jeffrey Hammond.
Shorter tenure than Tommy Iommi.
That's it. Tony Iommi.
Tony Iommi. Google all of these things, please.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember. At the tail end of Benefit, we started. Was it Just Trying to Be? I think it was Just Trying to Be. We were saying it felt like Ian finally started to find his voice.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And this is the voice that he found.
This is the voice. There is something. Nick, I'm gonna say something.
Please.
Ian Anderson had been working with this kind of persona, this kind of strange vagrant persona, and now he has had this real experience, albeit through a photograph, through Jenny Franks, with this real person who was living the life that Ian has sort of been conjuring the image of for a long time. And I think that something spiritual has happened. I think that person, Aqualung, as we have named him, that real person who lived down by the docks by the Thames, was sort of a shamanistic spirit animal for Ian Anderson and has allowed him to unleash something in himself.
There was definitely some sort of catharsis. He clicked something that he'd been searching for or didn't know that he had been searching for happened when he had this moment with this homeless person. And I think with Jenny's help too.
Sometimes it takes another person to show you something that you're too close to see for yourself.
Yeah.
Like the haircut on the back of your head. You need help.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
You do.
Yes, I do. What about you, Nick? Anything musical for you that stands out to you in this?
I think it's a little too long.
Okay.
I think they could have moved the solo in a little bit and ended where the solo originally starts, or just go out on that awesome solo pull down into that final little bit of verse.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I do want to remind you that this was the 1970s.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
People had perhaps longer attention spans.
It just feels adding the same riffs and the same lyrics, adding the same two stanzas at the end doesn't add to it, though.
I know what you mean, and I respect you, and you're wrong, because for me, it sort of feels like the cyclical experience of seeing the same homeless person every single day on your commute to work, whatever your rounds are, and having that recurring feeling like it's almost an intimacy because you see that person all the time.
Mm.
You feel like maybe you could help them. Have you done enough? How many times have you tried to help them? It's sort of this ongoing relationship, and I feel like that's what it speaks. That's what the form of the song speaks to for me.
I get that. I totally get that.
Would you like
to
hear a story from Uncle Omen's story time?
Do we have time?
You can cut it if you want. When I lived in London, when I was studying there was a homeless guy who was always at the same spot on my street between my tube station and my apartment. And I would see him and I would say hi to him. Sometimes I would give him change. One time he stopped me and he was like, "Hey, listen, is there any way you can go into that Tesco?" It's a British grocery store. And get me something. And I was like, you know what? Yes, dude. I've seen you enough times. Like, I will go into that Tesco. I have to go in there anyway, and I will get you something. What do you want? And he was like, a pack of cigarettes. And I was like, are you kidding me? I got mad at him, and I said to him, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm offering to go and buy you, anything from inside that store, and you don't want food? You want cigarettes and a beer? He had asked for a beer as well. I was like, you want cigarettes and a beer? And he was like, look, if I wanted a sandwich from there, I could just walk in and take it and walk out. But they keep the cigarettes behind the counter. So I bought him a pack of cigarettes.
But how does that... Where's the logic? How does that make it okay to buy him the cigarettes?
Because that's what he needed in his life. He presented me a convincing argument as to why I should buy him cigarettes instead of food, and I was so taken by his logic of it in the moment that I went and got him his cigarettes.
I mean, on the side of compassion, yes, I 100% totally get it.
Yeah.
But his argument is garbage.
He wanted a specific brand, too.
Oh, yeah. Did he send you back to return them and get it?
What's this crap? Get back in there. No, he was a nice guy. Should we wrap this up, Nick?
I think so. I don't really have much more to say about it.
I could literally talk about this song until the sun comes up.
That's a long way away.
Yeah. But
So let's not.
So let's
let's
not do that.
Just in summation, good song, really good song, great start to a great album. I think there's better, less, for lack of a better term, less popular songs on Aqualung.
Yes. In conclusion, one of the greatest rock songs of history. Holy cow! I can't believe I was nervous about this episode, Nick.
Really?
Yeah. What do you say about Aqualung? Well,
I feel like
if
we
you
haven't
wanna
said
know,
enough, to be honest.
go back to the beginning and listen.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we say.
Yeah. What are we listening to next week? What can we talk tall to our listeners about next week, Nick?
Next week is the song where our hired help has gotten her name and her sting. It is Cross-Eyed Mary.
Can't wait.
The Mary part, not the crow. Yeah.
What?
Until next week, though, you can. Ooh.
If you're feeling alone, you don't have to go down to the army and get a cup of tea. You can come down to the bog, which is iTunes, and give us a dog end of a review.
5-star review a la mode.
Smear your greasy fingers on your shabby keyboard and snot us out a review with good intent.
After you give us a review and 5 stars, I don't care what happens with the frilly panties.
Spit out the pieces of your broken opinion onto the internet. Until next time, I'm Omen Sade.
And I'm Nick McGill.
We are Feckless Momes.
And this is Talk Tull to Me.
Talk to Me is the proud member of the Feckless Momes Radio Network.